This monitor is not trying to compete with every other 4K display on the market. It is trying to change how you interact with what is on your screen, and that is a completely different conversation. Sitting on the desk, it looks like a clean, professional 27-inch 4K panel, nothing flashy, nothing over-designed, just a modern minimal setup that fits right into a workspace. But once you power it on and actually start using its core feature, everything shifts. The standout feature here is the glass's free 3D system, and it is not just a marketing term. This display uses real-time eye tracking combined with advanced rendering to create depth that follows your perspective, so instead of watching content, you are almost stepping into it. What makes this interesting is how natural it feels. After a short time your eyes adjust, and the effect becomes part of the experience rather than something you notice constantly, and that is where it starts to feel like a real upgrade instead of a gimmick. Even without the 3D mode, this is still a very capable 4K monitor. The resolution delivers sharp details across everything from text to high-resolution video, and the clarity makes it ideal for editing, multitasking, and long work sessions where screen quality matters. Color performance is another strong point. It is tuned for creative work, so whether you are working with photos, videos, or design assets, you are getting consistent and accurate output that you can rely on, and that is something professionals will appreciate immediately. The design stays out of the way in a good way. Thin bezels, a solid stand, and a build that feels premium without trying too hard. It is the kind of monitor that blends into your setup but still feels like a high-end piece of tech. In terms of connectivity, it covers the essentials. You can hook up multiple devices without constantly switching cables, which makes it practical for people working across different systems or workflows. Now coming back to the main experience, the spatial 3D feature opens up new possibilities, especially for creators working in 3D environments. Being able to view depth without wearing anything extra changes how you approach modeling, animation, and visualization. It becomes faster, more intuitive, and honestly more engaging. Developers and engineers can also benefit from this because visualizing complex structures or simulations in 3 dimensions on a standard screen has always been limited. This kind of display removes some of that limitation and gives a more realistic sense of scale and space. For entertainment and gaming, it adds another layer of immersion. Supported content feels deeper and more dynamic. It is not something every title will support perfectly, but when it works, it definitely stands out. Performance overall is smooth. The eye tracking keeps up with movement, and switching between standard 2D and 3D modes does not feel like a hassle, which is important because you will likely move between both depending on what you are doing. This is not designed for everyone. If your daily use is mostly browsing, streaming, or basic tasks, a standard monitor will make more sense, but if your workflow involves creativity, design, or exploring new tech experiences, then this becomes a much more interesting option. It sits in that category of products that push boundaries rather than follow trends, and that alone makes it worth paying attention to. If you want to check current pricing or availability, there is a link in the description where you can find more details and decide if it fits your setup. At the end of the day, this is less about having another high-resolution screen and more about adding a new dimension to how content is created, viewed, and experienced, and that is what makes it different.